Hello!
Hello and welcome to the We Hate Anime podcast, the only podcast where we can get a father of a small child to be a participant.
When my wife and child are gone.
What do you mean they're gone?
They're gone. They went to she went to visit her brother. So.
Oh, yeah, that kind of gone. I get worried there for a second. Anyway, my name is Tid, and with me is Delku, perpetually busy, but this time he got a weekend to himself, but of course we couldn't get anyone else over here, so fuck him, I guess. It's a two-man podcast.
Hell yeah, let's go.
How are you doing, Delku? I haven't actually talked with you in a while.
I'm doing okay. Lots fucking happened in the last year.
Yeah, you're the only man I know who had their house burned down, so that's something.
Well, it got struck by lightning, which is apparently a thing that can happen.
Yeah.
That your house can get struck by lightning and catch fire, and then suddenly you have to live in a new house for like 6 months while they fix your house. If you rent a place, get rid of insurance. Highly recommend. Because that got me brand new couches. So that was cool. Yeah, I didn't have to replace my OLED, so that was nice.
Well, that's something. Getting struck by lightning always reminds me of this fucking story I had when I was in a camp a few years back. Basically, I was a child, like 8 or 9, and there was a storm going on. And, everyone's scared, especially the girls. And the organizer tries to, cheer everyone up and says, don't worry, I know it looks terrifying, but the chance that lightning strikes us is 1 in a billion, don't worry about. And, on a fucking queue, a tree 50 meters from us gets struck and starts burning.
Lightning's fucking scary.
Lightning is super scary. My mom's always been terrified of it, and that imparted on me a bit, but I try to be a brave boy.
Yeah. We haven't, fucking, the original trio did an episode, a few weeks ago. But with, We Hate Anime in general hasn't been doing shit recently because everyone's been fucking busy. And I just want to say, if you're, sticking around, thank you. It means a lot.
Thanks everyone, honestly. This is gonna sound horrible, but I don't have a high stake here. I've been talking with Mike a few weeks ago, honestly, before they even recorded, when I was playing Magic the Gathering with Argentinians, as one does, and I was talking with him, and I know it's still bad to think that we haven't thought of organizing anything in a long time, but Mike, I need you to understand, you're a side bitch, and he said, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're in the time we haven't been recording, your YouTube channel fucking blew up.
Yeah, hopefully it will keep blowing up. But let's keep that aside. What's been happening? Last time I spoke to you, had a child get born. And how big is she now, actually?
She's 13 months old now. So she's out. Oh. She's up and she's walking around and shit. She's tiny. So she's a small child. She's already a child, but she's a small child. Because my wife and I are both small people. My wife is.
You think that this will impart on your daughter, or will she outgrow both of you?
I don't know, because right now she's small. She's over a year old and she's 16 pounds. But my wife, she's 5'3", and she didn't hit 100 pounds, so she was in college. I think I was 90 pounds when I started college. I'm
I will pretend to know what all those units mean, but I think I get the idea.
They're small. Yeah. But so yeah, she's small. She's fucking adorable. I love her. Having a kid is fantastic. I would not recommend it.
I've been hearing the same stories from a friend of mine who also has a young daughter. Right now, actually, him and his wife also got a son, so they're unavailable for some time due to that. But he's running D&D 5e for us, and every 20-30 minutes, Anna, what are you doing? Stop. No, that's a switch, that's not the toilet. Go to the toilet.
Yeah, no, we have to. So I had to buy 3 baby gates, one for our bedroom, one for my office, and then one for the kitchen. Because once she started walking around, she tries to like dig into the kitchen trash can, and everything's up where she can't grab it because she will.
She's treasure hunting. What are we talking about?
Kids are a lot. Like her favorite game is Easter egg hunting. So we do Easter eggs all year round because it keeps her busy.
Yeah, just put them under the sofa or in a place that's inaccessible to her tiny hands, and you think this will keep her occupied looking at it for a few hours, but then she starts climbing, and it's a problem.
Yeah, no, she has started climbing too. Like she'll climb on my wife to like get on the couch and stuff when she's like sitting on the floor.
Oh, Nelly.
Kids are great. Like I said, don't have kids.
Kids are great, don't have kids.
Don't.
So with all of that, did you have time to, I don't know, watch anything, play anything?
I watched one thing that we'll get to. I played Star Wars, the first Jedi game. What is that? Is it Fallen Order? I get fucking. I want to strangle the people at EA that named these fucking games, because Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order fucking confuse me. He's a Jedi Survivor in the first game.
Wasn't Jedi Survivor also like one of the Jedi Knight games, or am I? No, that was Outcast. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's
Fuck
not
Star Wars.
It's not related to the Jedi
Yeah,
Knight
I
games
know,
at all.
but I know it's not related. But just like the idea of confusing the naming with something that's 20 years old and nobody took that into consideration is always scaring me, especially with games.
Yeah. So I played that. That game's cool. Jedi Survivor, just like I beat it, and then Jedi Survivor came out, and Sonic Frontiers is cool.
Oh yeah, so Sonic was there. That was in the like last 2 months, right, or something along those lines.
That was 2022, I think.
Oh god, no.
I think it came out before the new year.
The perception of time is betraying me once again.
Fucking Honkai Star Rail.
House Honkers.
That game's cool. If you don't know what that is, it is made by the same people who made Genshin, like Genshin Impact. They made it's the exact same, except it's Star Trek and turn-based.
If I had a single penny for every gacha that is related to trains that released in 2023, I would have 2 pennies, which is not a lot, but it's weird that's happened twice. Also, all I know about Honkers is that the devs are cowards because there's a character named Kafka and she doesn't turn into a bug. That's fucking disgraceful.
No, Kafka's really cool though. You can't pull her yet. You play her in the tutorial, and then that's it.
Oh, they tease your boss, and they'll be like, "Oh, will you be ready to spend some money in the next few months? Are you sure?"
I think she's supposed to be like there's 2 characters you play as in the tutorial. One of them is the current banner. I think she's going to be not the next one, but the next one.
Okay, yeah. That makes about the right amount of sense, honestly.
But Honkai is cool. Don't play it.
It's like a turn-based RPG, right?
Yeah, it's turn-based. So it makes makes doing the dailies and shit easier because you could just fucking turn on auto battle and then bada bing, you've done your dailies.
Yeah, with Genshin, I remember that was like a Breath of the Wild, like, so the fact that they're diverging from that a bit is nice.
Yeah.
But I also, they had previous games that nobody ever heard of until Genshin came out, so.
I would really like if they made a real game.
Yeah.
Playing Honkai just makes me want them to have a real game because I really like the combat system of Honkai. I've been told it's like the Cold Steel, which I've never played, but I've been told it's what it's like. I think it's cool.
Yeah. I want to like play the Trail series or the Kiseki series in general someday, but I'm very afraid because everyone tells me that will turn me homophobic, and I can't afford that. Too many of my friends are gay.
I can't afford too much homophobic energy. I'll go over.
Dude, like my social circles would fucking shrink. The only person I could hang out in this very podcast would be Mauve. That would be depressing.
Trials is cool, but I have a brain disease, so I haven't beaten Heroes of the Sky, the first one. And I have a brain disease that is like, Cold Steel takes place after those games. I can't play Cold Steel until I play Heroes of the Sky.
No, I'm the exact same because I remember when the first XCOM remake came out, like that was what, 2012 or something. My first instinct was not, that looks like a cool game, I should play that. It was, that looks like a cool game, I should play the original from 1993.
See, I'm not like that. I'm not that bad. Especially if it's if it's...
I'm envious.
if it's an old Western game, I throw that shit out the window. I was like, I'm not playing that. Like old Western games, I'm like, yeah, there is such thing as too old to be playable for me. But I'll fucking play Dragon Quest 1 all day. I love that game. I mean,
yeah, with the all Japanese console games, especially if they're console games, like there is some sort of uniformity there that you can adapt to no problem. Whereas the West was a wild fucking West. But the saddest part about the story here is that the game from the 1993 I like way more than the actual new XCOM.
That's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
Because I like XCOM, like the new ones. They're pretty good.
I don't remember the name of the studio, but they made it basically an indie spiritual sequel to the old XCOMs, which are called Xenonauts. And they keep the same crackhead energy of like, okay, look. Here's like 20 units you can put on your ship, also a tank, also most of them are going to die, have fun.
Whoa.
And I heard that this energy was carried forward, because if it was just like the choice between one and the other, well, let's just say running DOSBox is never ideal.
Oh, I read, I've rewatched and read and then watched again all of Trigun.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that tracks considering your display icon right now is Twink the Stampede.
Yep.
How are you liking... Well, this is a reread and rewatch, but what are your feelings on going back to Trigun, the old ones?
So, when my daughter was born, I read the manga. Mm-hmm. The manga is really good. So, the manga, it's split up into two halves. It's Trigun and then Trigun Maximum, because they had to switch publications, because the original magazine Trigun was published in, like, canceled. Like, the whole magazine got shut down, and so Trigun Maximum had to move to a different publication. And you can kind of tell, because the ending of the original Trigun series is kind of, like, really rushed. Which is the halfway point of the original anime, too. Like,
oh, okay.
And then it goes into... and then Maximum starts... And Maximum is like more like adult themed, because like Trigun was a shonen, and then Trigun Maximum was like a seinen.
Yeah, soft seinen, like a container. Sorry.
Yeah.
So with the manga cutting off at the half point of the anime, is the second half of the anime fully original, or did they take some parts from Maximum?
It's more like Maximum took some parts from the anime.
Okay, yeah.
Because there was only a little bit of Maximum out when they made the anime, so most of it's all original.
Yeah, classic story. I remember with the Gundam or Battle Angel Alita, it was a bit similar, whereas the author was like, oh, I've been diagnosed, I think I'm gonna fucking die, let's wrap up this manga, and then it turned out, oh, he's not actually dying, so he made a second series that is a sequel that is still ongoing.
Yeah.
Which, like, good on him.
But Trigun Maximum is really interesting, because like there's a character that only existed in a filler episode of the original anime that shows up in Trigun Maximum.
Which is?
So there's an episode of Trigun that has this gunsmith, who quits making guns because they just cause violence. Then he meets Vash, and then it's like, oh, Vash is cool, I'll make him a gun. And that's the episode. He shows up at like near the end of Trigun Maximum to like work on Vash's gun.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
like,
cool.
When it comes to Trigun, I've watched the anime series from the 90s like 15 years ago, I suppose, when I was a teenager. And it was never like on public TV or on any TV here in Poland, so I don't have the same like Toonami connotation that a lot of Westerners have. So it was something I had to seek out, and it was like, oh, that's cool. I still like Bebop more, though.
Yeah, that's... Trigun... Like, I love Trigun a lot, but it is not, like... If it wasn't on Toonami, I don't think it would have been, like, that big of a deal in the West.
Yeah, probably. I think
it would have
so
been,
too.
like... I mean, you see it, Outlaw Star. No one fucking cares about Outlaw Star now.
Yeah.
And Gundam Wing
I've seen some people care about Outlaw Star and like the female characters in it. I'm like always, did you not watch anything else? Like, is your nostalgia that strong?
That's how I feel about a Gundam Wing, because I watched. So after my daughter was born, I watched a lot of fucking Gundam. Because I had promised one of my friends that when I got caught up with One Piece, I'd start Gundam.
I would get
and then I got caught up with One Piece.
I do have like 9 lives like a cat, so I've got the time, right?
So I watched the original Mobile Suit Gundam, and then Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta Gundam, Char's Counterattack. I've watched everything up to... I'm watching Gundam X right now. Gundam's fucking good. Except
That's
I don't
good
like
to
Gundam
hear.
Wing. That's like the one series that's like, this is kind of poopy. I don't like this.
See, it's fucked up because Wink is the only one I've seen because that one was on TV over here.
Yeah.
And when I was fucking, 10 or 11, it blew my fucking mind because it was this political drama with like complex characters and cool fucking huge robots and actually an ongoing plot, not an episodic one. And it... fucking influenced me. I bought the manga, which of course later turned out that's an adaptation, not the other way around. But back then I didn't know. I always thought it's manga first and then an anime.
Yeah.
And then when I grew up, I was like 20, 25. I rewatched it and I was like, oh well, there's a key childhood memory ruined. Cool.
Yeah, Gundam Wing has a lot of cool shit going on in it, but it also has a lot of lame shit going on in it. I think the last like 3 episodes are really good though.
Like the core idea of a Gundam with like fuckboy boy band teenage characters. Like when I was 10, those were teenagers. That was cool for me. Now it's like,
Like no, like they're only one of them is likable, and he pilots the edgy one.
yeah, Duo.
Duo's the best in that show.
Yeah, like he's the only one with a personality, honestly. So I'm not surprised everyone likes him.
Gundam, the Gundam Kids is a thing in most Gundam series, starting with Double Zeta, which is a bunch of kids, child soldiers, that pilot Gundams.
Yeah, there's always a kid still think Gundam was something, right? And I also know that Iron Blooded Orphans went full in on that concept, but I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. Double O. I also watched the first season of Double O, which is really good. I watched Unicorn, which has a lot of pretty colors that I like. And,
always something positive, huh?
And I watched Thunderbolt, which is fucking fantastic. Well, at least the first Thunderbolt movie. This was like a few years, weeks ago. It's fucking fantastic. Watch Thunderbolt.
So, when will you get to the pinnacle that is Gundam Seed?
One day, I'll have to watch Gundam Seed one day.
The contractual obligation is there. Your soul is sold already.
So I got into Gunpla last August.
Mm-hmm.
I think besides Universal Century, I think I have more Seed kits than anything else, and I haven't seen any of Seed.
But the robots are cool, and that's
the
what
robots
matters,
are
right?
fucking cool. It's got there's a spin-off manga that has a bunch of cool robots too. It has the Astrays, which the red Astray has a katana, which is cool as shit.
I mean, yeah, honestly, the moment I accepted that, this shouldn't be treated as mechs, they're just like robotic suits of armor that are towering over everyone else, I was like, yeah, this is way cooler way to think of it. With Gundam especially, I always appreciate the fucking melee combat, because when they're just flying and shooting with their shields up, it's like, yeah, okay, but when they get in there, they fucking get in there.
Oh yeah, one thing I like about Universal Century stuff is that, especially the original Mobile Suit Gundam series, is that the Gundam is a terrifying weapon of war, and it's great. It's good.
So it's always, oh fuck, it's a Gundam, run away.
Yes. In the original Gundam series, until like the Zeons actually know the name of the Gundam, they just call it the White Devil. Because any Zeon that comes face to face with the Gundam, because there's only one Gundam in that series, they're just fucking dead.
Okay. So, we had nukes, we had weapons of mass destruction, but what if really cool fucking robot? What if it was so fucking cool it destroyed everything?
What if we put a nuclear reactor in it, so if it blows up, everyone's fucking dead?
The fucking Dune way of deterring combat. Cool.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Gundam's great.
I need to watch more Gundam, honestly.
You do. I highly recommend... if you watch the original Mobile Suit Gundam, I recommend the movie trilogy. Because 0079, which is what people just call it, has a lot of pacing issues. Because it's like 49 episodes, something like 43 episodes. And each episode has to have a fight. Which causes a lot of pacing issues.
A lot of... And then enemies arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zeta Gundam and Double Zeta all have that same issue. Zeta is a bit better about it, just because Zeta is just generally a better series. I think. I am a double Zeta defender. A lot of people don't like double Zeta because it's kind of it has a much lighter tone, but I like double Zeta.
Yeah, I can't really, weigh in here, but the original Gundam, the 70s series, has been on my to-watch list for a few years now, and it's always like, Tid, come on, you watched Legend of Galactic Heroes, that's 110 episodes, you can fucking do it, but for some reason I never got the initiative, so...
Yeah, it's a lot.
Wing remains the only series I completed.
Because if you watch the original Mobile Suit Gundam, you have to watch the sequel. And then you have to watch the sequel to the sequel, and then you have to watch the movie sequel to that.
Yeah, because it's a whole continuity, right?
Yeah, it's the Char and Amuro saga is Mobile Suit Gundam, Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta, and then Char's Counterattack, which is the movie, which is fucking fantastic. Char's Counterattack is a good movie.
Yeah, I've always heard high praise about Char's Counterattack and never any specifics. I know some specifics in that. What was the name of the author of Gundam? God damn it.
Oh my god, I'm blanking on his name now. Tomino,
yeah. All I know is because I have some mutuals that are heavily into mecha, that interviews with Tomino around that time were fucking insane.
Yes, he is a fucking insane person. I love every interview with him. He talks about how he imagines his characters having sex and what it feels like.
In order to accurately convey this character, I need to imagine her vagina is crucial, because otherwise I don't know what kind of a person she is. It's like...
Yeah.
I respect the hustle.
Which if you just see how the character Char Azrael is written, okay, yeah, you have to be insane to write this character. Because he is the most mentally ill person in fiction.
I mean, that's how you get the most popular character in your series that has 1 million of clones even outside of Gundam. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Even Gundam Wing had a fucking Char.
Do we want to talk about G-Witch?
Hell yeah, I do, because that's the one series I've got for today.
I guess we'll probably get heavy spoilers into at least the first season.
Oh yeah, definitely. So Gundam Witch from Mercury, the currently ongoing Gundam series, which as of recording has 21 episodes, I believe, 12 and 9, and the prologue, so 22, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I've seen all of that, so watchers beware.
Yeah. I haven't seen the episode 21 yet, because I always wait. One of my coworkers, we watch it together on Tuesdays, so...
that's sweet.
Yeah.
But I can just tell you right now, it's set up before the climax, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck. G-Witch is fucking fantastic. Just culturally, it's gotten a lot of people into Gundam in general. The kits for Gundam Aerial are still kind of hard to find. They still sell out really quickly.
Apparently, Ariel is one of the best Gunplas ever selling, or something along those lines.
Yes, I have one. I have a high grade, and I have an SD, which is the chibi version of the kits that they have. I have an SD Ariel sitting on my desk.
How tall is that, actually?
It is, it's a little shorter than an amiibo.
Okay.
I don't know how to convert that out of freedom measurements.
I've had an amiibo in my hands once. I think I got the idea.
Yeah, the SD kits are pretty small. The high grades are quite a bit bigger. And then...
Yeah, I've got a few friends into Gunpla, and I was surprised when they told me about it, because apparently it's not like a typical model kit where you fucking cut shit out and glue it, but it's actually snap it in and it works, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, it's all snap fit. Gunpla's a lot of fun.
I want to do that then, because I tried getting into models with Warhammer Fantasy and shit back in the day, and I cut out the models, I put them into their bases, I painted the black base color on them, and I was like, yeah, that's enough work. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, and Ariel is actually a really good starter kit. So there you go.
Why is that? Why is she a good starting kit?
It's simple. The high grades are generally simpler kits. They don't have what are called inner frames, so there's high grades, master grades, real grades, and perfect grades. High grades are 1/144th scale. They are the lowest grade. That doesn't mean they're bad. That just means like they're simple. They're typically just anime accurate, and they have like basic articulation stuff. There's real grades, which are also 1/44th scale. They have a full inner frame, so like even without the armor, they can still move around and shit. It looks like a robot without its armor.
Okay.
And then there's master grades, which are bigger than 1/100th scale, though they also have inner frames.
If I'm getting this correctly, an inner frame is like a basic skeleton for the model, whereas those without an inner frame are just blocks of plastic. Is that right?
Kinda. It's really hard without having a visual, but an inner frame is more like you build the inner frame like out of the plastic, and then the actual colored armor goes on that inner frame
on top.
Yeah, okay. So it's like building a without the armor, it looks like a mech, like the inside of a mech, basically.
Yeah.
And then perfect grades are 1/60th scale. They're fucking huge, and they're usually about $200-$300.
Yeah, that's fair.
But high grades typically
get a Guacamole now.
$10 to $20.
But I'll have to wait until like July, August, because I'm fucking flying out to America. And wouldn't you know it, turns out that intercontinental flying is really fucking expensive.
Oh yeah. Well, while you're in America, you just go to a local Hobby Lobby and buy you some kits.
Yeah, okay. Uncle, auntie, cousins, I'm very glad we met. I'm glad I kept my promise from 3 years ago to visit you. However, I need to go buy a fucking Gundam.
Yeah. So Gundam Wish for Mercury is about this girl named Soletta Mercury who goes to an academy that is on a space colony. It's just like it looks like a vocational school sort of, because it has stuff like outside of mechs.
I mean, they've got entire fucking farms there to maintain that shit. So.
Yeah, like Miorin is like a business major, so it's not all just mechs. But
however, it is the focus, yeah.
Yeah. So Soletta is there to be a pilot, and pilots I think they have to bring their own suits, is what I remember.
The idea, I think, is that because it's mostly rich kids from space, they get like sponsorships and partnership deals from corporations who want to test their mechs out. But yeah, it's not. They have like those generic frames. I remember, generic mobile suits that they use for in like the classes that they have to avoid mines and shit.
Yeah, the demis.
But, everything outside of that, I think it's their own, which is like, for example, Choo Choo, the best girl, has an absolute piece of shit, but hey, it shoots guns.
Yeah, you can. So they sell kits. Because they're called Demi trainers. They sell a Demi trainer kit, but they also sell a Choo Choo's Demi trainer kit. That is just hers.
Just hers. How is that different?
I think it has different weaponry.
Oh yeah, because she has the big gun. That makes sense.
Choo Choo's fucking great. We'll get to her.
Choo Choo's the best.
So she gets to this school, and she brings with her the totally not a Gundam Ariel. And before she gets to school, she meets this girl named Murine, who she saves in space, but it turns out she's trying to run away. And she gets into a fight with Gyul, my favorite character.
Yeah, don't you mean Bob?
Yeah, Bob. So Gyul is the current holder when she gets into the school, and she challenges him to a duel because he's committing a bit of spousal abuse toward Miorin.
As one does.
It's fine. He gets better. So she wins the duel. And it turns out, and so she becomes the holder. And whoever the holder is, marries Miorin.
Yeah, when she turns 17. And this is the exact point where even if you haven't watched Utena, you should be like, hey, wait a minute, I heard about this before.
Yeah, this is just Utena.
It's the first episode especially is so aggressively the first episode of Utena to the point where I'm kind of disappointed that with every duel there isn't like a choir aggressively singing some stupid bullshit like in that show.
But Gyul spends 20 episodes taking L's. He cannot get a fucking break. But the rest of the first season is mostly about like Soletta and Murine's relationship growing and them learning to like legitimately love each other.
Growing lesbian love, and also, no, it's not a Gundam. My mom told me it's not a Gundam. Stop.
Oh, my mom told me it's a Gundam.
Oh no, yeah. The core concession of this is a bit silly to me, honestly, because the show is great emotionally and on the level of characters and such, but when it gets to politics, I get a bit lost. Maybe it's because my brain is the size of a fucking walnut, but like, oh yeah, this technology can be used to build gigantic suits of weapons. So let's ban the entire technology that also has medical uses. It's kind of like, I don't know, you can make a bomb out of a pacemaker battery, so let's ban pacemakers.
That's the one thing that's weird about it. I think it also has something to do with the fact that the Gund technology like causes damage to people too. I think that's part of it.
I think it's probably just like the basic idea, okay, we want to outlaw Gundam, so to make sure that if, this technology is not abused even a little bit, let's ban technology wholesale. That maybe that kind of works.
Yeah. So in G-Witch, a Gundam is banned because Gundams make use of this technology called Gund, where basically you can control the robot with your brain.
Yeah, it's basically it links with your neurons or some shit, and it turns out that making your brain control a fucking 20-ton suit of armor, that's a bit overwhelming. That can cause some brain damage.
Yeah, but for some reason, Soletta can pilot Ariel no problem. And most people, no one's quite sure why. At least as far as the first season is concerned, we'll get it. We'll get into the second season.
I mean, actually, on that topic, have you seen the prologue episode that they streamed sometime before the actual series?
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks before the first episode came out. They made it public.
Yeah. I just watched everything in bulk, so I don't have the time scale here. But I remember like everyone telling me about G-Witch. It's like, oh, it's kind of cute that there's this developing romance, and the prog just fucking murders people outright. And I'm like, I think I know where the series might be going.
Oh yeah. The cute girls tricked people into watching a Gundam show. Because there is a child does get murdered in the first season, and so they take Ariel to this colony, not a colony, but it's like this factory or whatever to get it worked on because Murine is able to convince her father, who controls
some business bullshit basically, because there's technically peace in the world, like in the current one. It's mostly like corporate drama at first, but of course that never holds.
But so the place that Ariel's at gets attacked. Slaughter gets in the new and improved Ariel because it has a different design and everything. It looks fucking cool.
Yeah, they gave her wings.
Yeah. It's to like defend the factory, and part of that, she pancakes a man in front of Murine.
Then she gets out of the mech, trips over the blood, and says, "Oh, I'm so clumsy." Just reaches out to Murine with a hand covered in blood, with the blood droplets like flying in zero-G, and I love that shot so much.
Yeah, which completely recontextualizes Soletta and how you see her, because you spend the entire first season being like, if anything happens to Soletta, I will kill everyone and then myself. Because I'm
still on that mode of operation. Fuck you. I'll protect my cute
because she is the sweetest thing in the show. She's fucking great. She's one of my favorite Gundam protagonists. And then that happens, and then so I'm like, oh, are you okay?
No.
Do you need help? Not. Do you need therapy?
I've done some reading before we started, and actually someone noticed that it's very apparent that she is more, especially in the first season, it's very apparent she's more used to interacting with people when in aerial. So like when talking with people, she takes a knee because she's used to like just needing to get down to speak with someone on equal terms, and hiding behind people like she would behind a panel and such.
Yeah.
And that's such a fucking good character writing without even saying a word.
Also,
There's a lot of that in Jewish, honestly.
It is a Gundam thing for the protagonist to have autism.
Yep.
Every Gundam protagonist is autistic in some way or another. Exactly. Camille in Gundam Zeta straight up says he's autistic.
I mean, based. We stand a king.
Camille's fucking great. The first thing he does is punch a cop for misgendering him.
Oh yeah.
You need to watch fucking.
Oh yeah, let me guess, because he has a girl's name, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Camille's fantastic.
Why the fuck are there tiny waves on my recording? Oh my god, am I getting a noise? Whatever. That's Lardo's problem, not mine.
Which Mercury's fucking great. Every mech design is a home run.
I have to admit, I feel like a rube here because it took me a long time to remember any design that is not aerial. Maybe it's because I fucking binged it, but it's they blended together for me a bit.
Yeah,
but,
a lot of them.
I also didn't look out for them.
So each company has a different designer for their mechs. Mm-hmm. So like Gil's company has a different designer from Shadiq's company, which is the designer from Elaine's company. So they all So each company's mobile suits look similar, but between them they look vastly different. So Shadiq has the McAllis, which looks cool as shit. It looks like a fucking knight.
It's very, how should I design it? Very alien, I would say. Like maybe it's the purples, but it's always like if you have an alien faction in a strategy game, that's what they fucking look like.
Yeah, and then Gil's I forget. I don't know why I forget the name of the fucking companies, but Gil's all of theirs are like big beefy boys.
Yeah.
Like
with fucking flying swords.
Yeah.
He's fucking Virgiling it the fuck up.
Cool.
It's really cool, like the way that he uses it in the particular fight in season 2. I was like, yo.
Yeah, it is so cool. Every mobile suit is fantastic. And they exist to sell toys, but I know what? I eat that shit up.
They better have good fucking design if they want to sell toys.
Oh yeah, all the Gundams are cool as shit.
Honestly, sorry to interrupt there, but like on the topic I mentioned before of like good character writing, one moment particularly still stood out to me. I don't know if it's season 1 or season 2, I don't remember now because I binged it in 2 days. But when Suleta's mother, Prospera, was talking with Miorina and saying that her mom was into bioengineering and plant design and shit. And I was like, oh, that's why she's in the greenhouse so much. And they don't even acknowledge it in text. And I figured that I really like that particular bit of writing because it shows, that they'll just throw things out there and you'll connect the pieces. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah. No, I think in the first season at some point, Miorine says something about her mother liking greenhouse and shit.
Maybe.
But there's also one really cool scene in the second season where Miorine and Soleta are like talking, and it shows a ripe tomato with Miorine's reflection, and then an unripened one with Soleta's reflection.
Which
means that like Soleta's not ready
for the relationship. Do you understand the symbolism, children? do you get which one is the immature one in this relationship?
Yeah, because there's some shit happens in second season, like oh Soleta needs help.
Oh yeah, like fucking help her, my poor child.
God. So I guess we can kind of get into what's happening in the second season.
I'll get them off on for a second here. As we know, Prospera did nothing wrong.
Slow down a bit there. Shoving your kid into a Gundam is not good.
It's definitely not good, and I sympathize with her motives and such, but like the moment she goes like, you know what, in order to enact my petty revenge, I'll start a fucking war on the most impoverished planet in the system, which is of course Earth. I'm like, you know what, maybe not.
Yeah. She hasn't.
Maybe there is a line.
She hasn't dropped a colony on Earth yet, but I'm sure that's coming.
Fucking yet. Yeah. That's an episode you haven't seen yet.
Oh boy.
Don't worry about it. But one more thing I wanted to touch upon. I've had the term Dune Tenagelion in my head when it comes to G-Witch. And the first thing I want to touch upon, the fucking CEOs of the one company that Ellen is in are just fucking Bene Gesserit.
They are! They look like fucking Dune characters!
They're just fucking a cabal of ladies controlling everything from the shadows, and they genetically modify people. Like, come the fuck on.
Oh, okay, that's another thing I did while on, I guess, hiatus. I read the first 3 Dune books.
Mm-hmm.
The first one's good. I don't know about the other 2.
Yeah, like the first Dune is spectacular. Messiah tired me out a bit. Children of Dune, honestly, I really like the last third or so, but everything up to that is it's boring.
Yeah. But back to G-Witch. Well, I have one more thing about Dune. George Lucas is a hack.
George Lucas is a fucking hack so much.
I mean that very lovingly. He's a fucking hack. He took so much shit from Dune, but it's good.
Oh yeah, our hero on a desert planet gets recruited by a cabal of mystical order that knows some shit, but this time they're male. And also, there's like a huge gaping maw in the desert that they throw people into. Gee, I fucking wonder.
And it's like Children of Dune has a whole thing with like the 2 twins who were born. The mother dies during childbirth. The twins are like special powers and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, only the boy matters.
Yeah. G-Witch.
G-Witch.
It's good. Let's talk about Choo Choo.
Choo Choo, like this is another point of comparison with Utena, because there's also a character called Choo Choo in Utena, but that's a fucking little monkey gremlin, rather than...
Choo Choo's a gremlin.
Choo Choo is a gremlin, but she's a full-fledged girl, and she punches the shit out of racists, and I love her.
God.
And how does she fit that fucking hair into her helmet, we'll never know.
There is just a whole episode that just builds up to Choo Choo punching a space racist in the face, and she just slouches over. She's fucking dead.
Yeah. Like, when she was first introduced and, screaming at people, I fully expected her to just be loudmouth that doesn't actually do anything. But then she just fucking goes in and punches a bitch in the face and looks, best girl.
She's great. I love her so much. When that episode came out, there was like official art of her with like a base, like a spiked bat.
A delinquent, of course.
She's the delinquent character.
Honestly, like, even if they don't get as much screen time, the other Earth characters I really like as well. They're just like a very nice bunch, each with their like little quirks that you identify them by.
They're all great, and there's also that one side character that you've seen all over Twitter. You know the one.
Yeah. On Twitter, don't you mean Rule 34? Oh
my god, I don't even know her. I don't even remember her name. But
Cecilia,
goddamn.
Goddamn. Yeah, I fully concur. She gets a bit more of a role in season 2, honestly.
Yeah, she definitely has more going on in season 2 with the.
In season 1, she's just like sitting around on a couch and says like one snide remark every episode, and it was like, yeah, that's my girl.
Yeah, no, as soon even season 1, she was still all over Twitter.
Yeah.
It's just a home run of a design. I don't know what to tell you.
And slight spoilers for season 2, but there's a scene where she basically blackmails a guy, Martin, into painting her nails, and I was like, goddamn.
God, we were watching that at work, and like everyone in the room was like, God, I wish that was me.
Yeah. Cultured people. Fully fucking cultured people. God.
Oh.
But yeah, G-Witch is actually, aside from Wing, the only Gundam series I have seen. I don't want to judge it yet because, they can totally fumble an ending. That can always happen.
Yeah.
But I've been having a fucking blast in those past 2 days because the characters are really good, both on like when it comes to writing and like the way they're animated and how their movements convey their personality, but also like the mecha fights are really, really fucking cool. And I know that in the past decade or so there was a large issue of a lot of shitty CG in mech fights because they're difficult to animate, but here it's either doesn't show or it's mostly hand drawn.
It is,
I
yeah,
can't
it's
tell.
mostly hand drawn. It looks fantastic.
That's so fucking good.
And
man.
that's just Sunrise. Sunrise, like all their shit just looks great. Even like Iron Blood Orphans, I've seen clips of. It looks great. Even like Unicorn has some CG, and even that, like it was like 2010 or some shit like that. It still looks great.
I mean, there is some CG in here as well. I definitely noticed like a one spaceship for a split second. And also in the most important scene of the entire scene is Gundam, Ray of Hope.
Yeah.
With the fucking aerials, green screen dancing in the back. It's definitely a CG model.
And even a lot of the character acting too. There's a scene in the first season. It's like episode 11 or some shit, where Soletta is locked herself in the bathroom, and they're like, and Miriam shows up, and they're like fighting to get the door open, and like all the character acting in that scene is just fantastic. And then they're like chasing each other through the space station.
Yeah. Oh, but my wife that's angry with me got tired a bit. I'll go check up on her just to make sure. Even if Suletta commits a colony drop or some fucking shit, I'll still want to protect her. She deserves the world.
She does. Even when she holds her hand out with a bloodied hand that is immaculately animated. She needs to be protected.
She can protect herself, but just to be sure. Oh gosh, what else was there? Oh yeah, actually on the topic of like, let's say secondary characters, but you already spoke about Bob. I love him. I like his character development. That when he actually leaves the school and makes out like a blue collar job for himself and chills the fuck out, and actually becomes a good person in the second season. That's great. But also like the entire plotline with Alan being a person with someone else's face, it's fucked up.
Yes,
I love it
everything
so much.
about Alan is fucked up.
Yeah, because people harp a lot on about the ending of the first season, but like halfway through we've got a kid being incinerated by a fucking laser, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess we're getting there.
But Gil is my favorite character in the show.
He's great.
All of his interactions from he's a piece of shit in the first episode, but like I think it's like the third or fourth episode or something, he just becomes a simp for Soletta.
Yeah,
and it's great. Like I think the third episode ends with like, Soletta, will you marry me? It's like, oh, this is my goat.
Like, a woman beat my ass twice. I need to marry her. I can
Soletta just makes a fucking harem. It's great.
I mean, she deserves it.
She does.
Have you seen that girl? But when it comes to actually that and his development, like, I really like that. Even like the first episode, he's a total asshole, but then they immediately show that his surrounding is shit. His father can go fucking die, and he did.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, but the like core idea of the fact that even as this total asshole, he has this sense of duty and actually respects the duels. It was nice.
Yeah.
I always like asshole characters, and I know that says a lot about me, but they need to have something underneath that.
Oh yeah, and Gil's fantastic. His character development revolves around his mullet. Because
you look different. Yeah, I know. I look like a fucking adult now. I don't look like fucking MacGyver.
Because the second season he has to cut off his mullet because it gets fucked up because of what happens at the end of the first season. Because he has to fucking kill his own dad to protect himself.
I mean, it's not that for not having his fucking comps on. Stupid bastard.
Exactly.
Like, this is like basic game etiquette. If your opponent wants to bounce, you keep the chat open. But no, he was afraid to be put up on scrap quotes, and he kept them off, and that's why he died.
Yeah.
It's his fault.
He deserved it.
Oh, actually, speaking of scrap quotes, because I know you're into fighting games, have you been into Street Fighter 6?
Oh, hold on 1 second here. 48.9 hours.
Okay, yeah. That's,
Street Fighter 6 is great.
So I've heard. Because, like, it's a game I haven't bought yet because again, fucking America.
Yeah.
But like every single video and screenshot I see of that game, it's like it looks so fucking slick. Even like, just for aesthetics, I want to buy it.
I've actually been playing like a bit of the single player mode, which is the World Tour, and it is a PS2 game. It's fucking great.
PS2 game how?
So have you played Mortal Kombat Deception?
I think so, but I tried to repress that memory, but go on.
So Mortal Kombat Deception has this story mode where you play as this dude who can get trained by like other Mortal Kombat characters, and you can assign him like special moves and shit and change your style based on who you meet. That's Street Fighter 6's story mode.
Okay.
So like you meet characters and you change your normals based on like who your master you want to be. And then, but you can just fucking mix and match your specials.
Yeah, I've heard that not only you can make absolute fucking Cronenberg monsters in the character creator, but also like you don't set yourself to one skill set. You can mix and match, and that leads to some fucking goofy bullshit.
Yeah, it is. It's a ton of fun. The World Tour is great.
Can't fucking wait to fight against a dude that looks like Ryu, is named Ryu, and then fucking throws a Chun-Li kick at me.
So you can play against other avatars, and I've fought against a shirtless Guts who was using DJ's moveset. It's very interesting. But the game itself is a ton of fun. I've been playing Kimberly. I'm like Gold 4. It's fun. It's a fun game. It's nice to have a Street Fighter game that I can get into because I didn't like 5. I didn't fucking like 4. 3, I like the mechanics of 3, but there's not a character in 3 that gets me hooked. And
well, I have to say that I've never been much into Street Fighter. Like the one fighting game I ever really got into as a kid was Tekken 3. I played the shitload of that with my cousins. But like with Street Fighter 4 and 5, I'll be honest, I never really liked the aesthetics. But in 6, it's so fucking sick.
Oh yeah, no, 4, like looking back at 4 is fucking ugly.
Yeah, I've always said that, but nobody believed me.
4 is ugly, 5 is fucking ugly. And it's insane, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is one of the most aesthetically pleasing fighting games in the past.
Oh yeah, Marvel 3 looks amazing. And not only because they got Phoenix fucking Wright as a playable character, that's just a bonus.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken looks fine too, so I don't know what the fuck was going on with the Street Fighter 4 and 5.
There's many things, and I think everyone can probably say, oh yeah, the management at Capcom at that time. Right.
Also, 7th Gen was also a nightmare, so that's fair.
Yeah, that's true.
But Street Fighter 6...
It gave us Nier and New Vegas, but aside from that, really, what has it done for us?
Street Fighter 6 is a lot of fun. I highly recommend if you have at all any kind of interest in fighting games, or even just like want to like Street Fighter casually. It's a lot of fun.
I'm not gonna lie, the idea of modern controls is kind of selling me, because when it comes to fighting games, I always have two basic issues. One is always fucking up motion inputs because I do them too fast, and the second one is if I get too stressed, I just press forward and that fucks up all my moves. Yeah,
the modern controls are actually pretty neat. There've been like some people who like can make it like pretty high rank with just modern controls. So that being in the game's really cool. There's also dynamic controls, which I'm not entirely sure what that does.
Okay, that's the first I hear of it.
Yeah, there's a third control set that I think changes based on the situation.
Okay. Yeah, I mean dynamic. That's in the name, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember when I played the Umineko fighting game some time ago, because I was much heavily into Umineko that came out, and I could play with my friends by just, asking them for their IP address, because the netcode in the game was fucking nightmare. It was P2P.
Yeah.
But I remember that there was, in the Xbox version, they added a princess mode for playing with different schematics, and I could never fucking figure out how the fuck that even worked. I think it was semi-dynamic, but it just always chose the worst option. That's why would you play this?
Yeah, there's a lot of 7th Gen had a bunch of fighting games that had I think Guilty Gear and BlazBlue had a stylish mode. I don't know why they took that out of Strive.
Because Strive is already simplified.
Hey, yeah. But Street Fighter, I like having multiple different controls. It's great. I think it gets more people fucking buying your game and playing it. The one thing about Street Fighter 6 that has me scared is it has a battle pass that we don't know anything about yet. And it's like I don't like the idea of a $60 game having a battle pass, depending on how it's done.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, but I can't really speak up because I've been in the fucking Limbus company gacha prison for the past 4 months now. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Buying that fucking battle pass every season, I can't escape Project
Every season? How many? You said 4 months.
Yeah, the second season started the 1st of the June. So
okay, so season like 3 months. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, it's a quarterly about or so. Like the first one was supposed to end halfway through May, and they said, "Oh, actually, we need to postpone that a bit because the story of the next chapter is fucking long." So here's 3 temples. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I think surprisingly the only game I've played that has like a good battle pass, like a battle pass I actually really like, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Because you can buy the premium battle pass with in-game currency. Because that game doesn't have a premium currency. There's just one currency. So you like if you just earn enough, you can just buy the premium battle pass. Master Duel is really cool.
I mean, that is cool. I remember that there was with EVE Online. There was this issue that you can. There were two currencies, and one was real money. The issue was you could convert back and forth between them. So actually, everything you did in that game involved real money on some level.
Oh yeah.
And apparently, recently there's been crimes unveiled that happened because of that. Like actually.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of tax evasion can easily happen.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I heard recently about like EVE Online. They had it was like a $6,000 battle, where like they had a battle between players on EVE Online, and the damage like equated to like $6,000 or something like that.
Yeah. Christ. What else did I want to say here? I wanted to shit talk Moth, but I forgot about what, honestly.
Well, we can bully Moth for not being here for the Gundam episode.
Yeah, Moth, you fucking
fuck
piece
you,
of shit.
fuck you, Moth.
I know it's you. I know you're impersonating me on Twitter. I fucking know that now. You have no escape. I've got the evidence.
I would like to do a Thunderbolt episode though, because Thunderbolt is Moth's favorite Gundam show. And Thunderbolt
is it the same continuity as like the original series?
Yeah, it's Universal Century. It actually takes place during the 1 Year War, which is the original Mobile Suit Gundam series. So
so a side story of the events of the first series. Okay.
Yeah, you can watch. I think you can watch Thunderbolt without watching the original series.
I mean, I want to watch the original, which is what's holding me back. Again, like with the game series we discussed before, fucking foreshadowing. But yeah, someday. Right now, I'm just so into Jewish because, as I said, I binged it. I'm turning to my wife and saying, "Hey, we'll watch that after when it finishes." It's a promise because it's actually really good.
Yeah, no, Gundam is consistently really even the worst Gundam series. It's okay, except for I hear Age sucks, but it is kind of weird now that I have watched so much Gundam, just how much of it is like formulaic. Especially Wing. Wing is like the entirety of Wing is just like the first 3 series and then Char's Counterattack condensed into one series.
Yeah,
it even ends the exact same as Char's Counterattack.
Well, with Endless Waltz there was a colony drop, right? I think.
I think like the last few episodes of the original series was the colony drop.
Okay, no, but I'm just talking about Wink here because again, that's the one I've seen. I remember that was a plot point in the movie, but again, it's been 15 years.
I don't remember anything about Endless Waltz. I watched it. I don't remember anything that happened in it. I thought it was pretty good though.
There was a little girl, and yeah.
There's a little girl. It had the Gundam with the actual angel wings. That's only on screen for like a few minutes. Yeah. And then it gets blown up, even though that's the coolest version of that design. It gives the Death Scythe wings, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
I have that kit.
That's why you remember.
Yeah, I remember the Death Scythe wings.
That's how they fucking get you. We'll make a series so forgettable that you need to buy the fucking toys to remember anything about them, and it was cool.
I have 2 kits of the Wing Gundam. I have the TV version of the Wing Gundam, and I have the EW Wing Gundam.
I mean, yeah, and the Swords one, the one with the wings. Yeah, that makes sense. What I wanted to say is, but yeah, I was asking right before, how many Gundams are there? Not the mechs, but the series, like rough estimate. Because it's been 50 fucking years.
Yeah, this is I think this year. No, not this year, but it's been a little over 50 years now. I want to say there's like 12. Because hold on, let's do a quick count. There's Mobile Suit Gundam, Zeta, Double Zeta, Victory, G, Wing, X, Turn A, Seed, Double O, Age, Iron Blooded Orphans, G Witch. So that's 13.
Okay,
I might be
that's
missing
way less-
some.
That's way less than I thought, actually, because
But that's not
with
including
some-
movies and OVAs and shit.
yeah,
Because technically, like, Unicorn is an OVA.
because with something this long spanning, I always feel like it's like one a year, like with the fucking Yakuza games that I always want to catch up on, but I never will.
Honestly, they do, like... They consistently release, like, a Gundam movie or something, like, every other year. Because, like, last year we got the Gundam Karakuru Doan's Island, I think that's what it's called, which is a movie adaptation of episode 15 of Mobile Suit Gundam.
Okay.
And then the year after
That's
that, and then
goofy.
like a few years after that, we got Gundam Hathaway, which is very good, especially if you have an OLED TV, because half that movie is dark on purpose. It's great. There's like
Actually,
there's like
that
this like
reminds me-
city scene there's like the city fight scene that takes place at night, and you can fucking barely see anything except for like hit sparks and shit. It's really cool.
That's nice. I remember, this is on a tangent, but there is a mod for Hearts of Iron 4 called The New Order, where it's basically 60s and 70s, a Cold War between Nazi Germany, Japan, and US, because the Axis won, basically. And one of the events that will always stick out to me that happens in that game is Japan still produces a Gundam, but Char is the protagonist this time around. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know, I want to see that series.
But as we need to, I guess we can kind of wrap up. Watch G Witch, watch Gundam in general. But if you don't know where to start, watch G Witch.
Buy a lightning rod for your home.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, buy a lighting rod. Buy renter's insurance. Don't have a kid. Go to your local Hobby Lobby. Every other week
Don't fly to America ever, even if you already live in America.
Yeah, no. If you live in America, get out. Go to your local Hobby Lobby every other week. They do a 40% off sale on all kits. Go there, just buy all the Gundam kits and just start building them. They have an entry grade line of kits, and Hobby Lobby sells the entry grade like RX-78, which is the original Gundam.
Are they pre-built or fight? What's entry grade about them?
So it's just so you don't need tools to snap them off the runner. They just snap off with your hands,
Ah, I see.
and they're a bit easier to build.
So it's perfect for a man-child like me. Gotcha.
Entry games are cool.
I need to get more into Gundam because again, gunplay itself sounds fun, but the only model I'd be interested in right now would be Ariel, and that feels like a secondary. I smell like a casual. I want to avoid that smell.
But
Oh god, I'm one of those people, aren't I? I got in with the popular thing, and now I'll be at the ire of every single fucking diehard that's been around for the last.
at least you
years.
didn't get in with Iron Blooded Orphans. You got in with a good one.
Was Iron Blooded Orphans bad?
I don't know. I hear people didn't like it. The Gundam Barbados is cool, even though it looks nothing like a fucking Gundam.
I mean, look, we can't kill innocent children, but we can kill guilty children, right?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I know about IBO. Out of context, it fucking punches the wind out of me.
I just know he doesn't wear a shirt when he pilots the Gundam.
What is this thing on top of Gurren Lagann?
I don't know. I have no fucking clue what's going on in Iron Blood Orphans, except there's a lot of all the mobiles. It's like melee based, from what I understand.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool.
I mean, that does sound cool. Fighting in melee is always superior.
Yeah, that's why I need to watch Escon Flown. Because that's like...
Oh, I haven't seen that either.
That's like Mecha Knights.
Yeah, okay, you're selling me.
But I haven't seen it. I think that's also a Sunrise show, too.
I mean, with Sunrise, they do what? Gundam, Idolmaster, and they did Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
right?
they get Cowboy Bebop. They used to do a lot more. Hold on, I'm going to do a...
Because between Gundam and Idolmasters, these people are fucking set for life. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
I'm going to do some typey type and look up what they done. Oh, yeah, they did Code Geass. Which, by the way, Witcher Mercury is written by, I think, the writer of Code Geass. Yeah,
and they also wrote one of the Utena novels, apparently.
Yeah. So
I don't remember the name right now. I'm sorry, dear author, but I'm already bad with names, let alone foreign ones.
Yeah, so obviously it's going to be exactly like fucking Utena.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining. I fucking love Utena. It's one of my top shows of all time, easily.
I have only seen the movie.
That's a sequel. How do you do that? That's like only seeing End of Evangelion.
We watched it in class.
Okay, that's fair.
When I was in college, because I took an anime class in college where we watched anime and then had a class discussion, and I was like one of the only people that fucking loved Utena. Everyone else in that class was like, I don't get it. I don't get what's going on. He was like, you're a fucking idiot.
You imbecile. You uncultured swine.
Like, no, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to. She turned into a car. That's cool.
And that was fucking cool. It's a metaphor of a fucking drive. Don't you get it? She drives. She's Ryan Gosling.
But we watched that. We watched Akira. We watched some cool stuff in that class. We also watched like 3 random episodes of Bleach.
Okay.
And it made me never want to watch Bleach.
That's fair. It's a good choice to not watch Bleach, but I don't know. The idea of anime class is fucking wild to me because we don't have electives here outside of college. So like, if I had that, maybe I would get in a bit earlier. But as it was, I had to fucking pirate anime in my school library because the internet I had at home was shit. It was shit.
Oh yeah, no. Even like when I was in high school, like. Mm-hmm. I feel like I watched a lot of anime, but I really didn't. I watched Full Metal Alchemist, I watched Berserk, and I watched like Evangelion. That's really all I remember watching.
When I was at university the first year, when I just spent most of that in my apartment, I watched a shitload of like Bakano Durara and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then I got a girlfriend, and it became normal.
Yeah. You become normal once you get some of that love in your life.
What's the term? Yeah. Oh god. What's next? Children? That mistake
don't
ahead
do
of
it.
me? Oh gosh.
Don't do it. I'm for real. Like, this is my only kid. I'm for real. Probably going to.
We're not planning to, but like we every time like some cute story happens, it's like maybe I need to reevaluate. No, but with each time my defenses get weaker.
Yeah. Well. So my wife and I, we've been together, it'll be 7 years this month. And so we didn't have a kid until we were together like 6 years. So.
I mean, we've been together 10 years.
Okay, well.
As of this April, yeah.
We'll get to it.
I'm fucking pissed. You're younger than me and you get married earlier and you get a kid earlier. Like, what the fuck?
Let's go.
I'm behind on my goalposts.
But I guess wrap up. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Watch Gundam.
We're not gonna do a Patreon plug because I don't have access to that, and neither does Delku.
I thought I was mowing the lawn earlier today, and I thought I should ask Mike for the Patreon plug, and then I didn't.
And then we didn't.
So we're going to just have Lardo edited in right here.
And a special shout out to our patrons: Daniel Ashley, Vinegar Raw, Nicole Carter, Cav Online, Gachi Shadicus Thundercock, and Quadrasic. Without you, the show wouldn't be possible, and we're grateful for all that you do for us. Hope you enjoyed the episode.
And then that's it.
if anyone is giving Mike money, this is supporting this show to stay on air, because apparently hosting that costs money because we live in a dystopia. So thank you all for that.
Yes, thank you a lot. And I mean, Mike's been through a lot with money and shit. So anything you send, we've greatly appreciated it. We know we've been absent. But thank you for your support.
You can sleep soundly. I get nothing, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I got nothing. We don't see any of that money. It literally just all goes to hosting and paying Lardo to edit this shit.
Yeah, it all goes towards Lardos like hookers and blow, and it gets more and more expensive because apparently the inflation also impacted the cocaine market. So guys, please support us.
It goes towards Lardo's boyfriend's fucking anime girl collection.
I mean, you gotta snort the cocaine of something.
Have you seen that shit, Lardo? Or have you seen that shit, Tid?
No.
Lardo's boyfriend has a collection of anime girl figures that are like naked and shit.
Based?
Yeah.
Listen, the one thing I know about Lardo's living situation is that one Yu-Gi-Oh video he made where he has like 20 dildos. And I think I know why we need to pay him to keep editing the audio and he doesn't do it for free.
He's the most based man alive.
Actually, speaking of figurines, I got a Jill Nando. It's amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Good Smile Company, for having good taste.
Oh
in
yeah,
characters.
they just announced a Guts one too, so I'm about to get that, baby.
Oh yeah, they are doing a re-release of Lina Inverse from Slayers, and my wife is ecstatic because that's like one of her favorite characters of all time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're going to get the because they have model kits of Soletta and Miorin now too.
God damn it!
So there you go. You can buy those. One of my coworkers bought them.
I should buy a house. I'm an adult, but
sorry, you're going to have to pay $30 to have a Soletta figure with a Haro.
Dude, $30 is like a week's worth of food here.
I'm sorry. But thank you all for listening. This has been the We Hate Anime podcast.
Thank you for the third time.
Like us on Spotify. Do all that shit, I think.
Yeah, follow this channel on YouTube, so it has 1,000 subscribers, so we can finally like make money on ads. We will get like $2 every month, and it will be worth it.
Yeah. Subscribe to Tid on the YouTubes. Plug your shit. I don't remember your channel name.
It's Last Minute Essays, but honestly, I feel bad plugging myself here, considering I've got like 6 times the number of subscribers.
No,
right
plug
now
yourself. It's good.
Subscribe to this channel. Tell your friends to subscribe to We Hate Anime, because we actually hate anime.
Yeah.
Unlike all those fucking pretenders that are out there actually loving anime, like some fucking good weebs. Here, there's only real men with real takes on media. Okay, I don't have any more for this bit. Sorry.
Follow We Hate Anime on Twitter at We Hate Anime Cast.
I need to find a password for that account because it's probably just posting stupid shit.
I forgot we were given the password. I've never fucking used it. Well, yeah, thank y'all. And have a good night.
See ya.